Here at Shorts, we're big fans of the amazing and the imaginative George Saunders. His work, I always find like you don't know what's going to happen next. He's the author of the novel Lincoln in the Bardo and many collections from which we've done readings over the years. His stories are unexpected, they're funny, they're touching, and they change the way we see the world. Recently, Saunders decided to add to the fable genre by writing a novella in the voice of a fox. And this seemed like a good reason to invite him back to Symphony Space to share his latest view of the world, right? Right. So we did, because we can do things like that. The title character in Fox 8 learns to understand the human voice, making words. He teaches himself to speak, too. And this leads to an odyssey of delight and danger. Since Fox 8 is a novella, we'll hear an excerpt read by the exceptionally talented actor and director, John Cameron Mitchell.
First, may I say sorry for any words I spell wrong, because I am a fox. So don't write or spell perfect, but here's how I learned to write and spell as good as I do. One day walking near one of your human houses, smelling all the interest with snout, I heard from inside the most amazing sound. Turns out what that sound was the human voice making words. They sounded great. They sounded like pretty music. I listened to those words until the sun went down, when all of a sudden I was like, Fox 8, crazy nut, when sun goes down, world goes dark, skedaddle home, or else there can be danger. But I was fascinated by those music words and desired to understand them totally. So came back night upon night, seated upon that window, trying to learn. And in time, so many words came through my ears and into my brain that if I thought upon them, could understand human pretty good if I hear it. What that lady in the house was saying, stories to her pups with love. When done, she would douse the light, causing dark. Then, due to feeling love, would bend down, putting snout and lips to the head of her pups, which was called Good Night Kiss, which I got a kick out of because that is also how we show our love for our pups. As foxes, it made me feel good. Like humans could feel love and show love. In other words, hopeful for the future of Earth. But one night, I heard something that made me think twice about humans, and I still am. What I heard was a story, but a false and even mean one. In that story was a fox. But guess what the fox was? Sly. Yes, truly, he tricked a chicken. He lured this plump chicken away from its hen house, claiming there was some feed in a stump. We do not trick chickens. We are very open and honest with chickens. With chickens, we have a super fair deal, which is they make the eggs, we take the eggs, they make more eggs. Sometimes we may eat a live chicken should that chicken consent to be eaten by us through failing to run away upon our approach. After she has been looking for feed in a stump. Not sly at all. Very straightforward. That story was also false due to the main chicken is wearing glasses. Which chickens do I know of do not wear glasses. I do not think this is because all chickens see great. I think it's because chickens do not even know that they don't see great. Due to, although I have the greatest respect for chickens loving their eggs, they are perchance not the brightest. But chickens wearing glasses was not the only false story I heard. I heard stories about bears, in which bears are always sleeping and nice and loving. Believe me, as someone often chased by bears, never was a bear chasing me, 1, asleep, or 2, nice, or 3, loving. You should hear the many not nice things a bear is saying in bear as he is chasing you, as luckily you slide into your den just in the nick of time and try not to start crying in front of your other foxes. And in terms of owls, owls are wise. Don't make me laugh. Once, an owl nipped Fox 6, quite cruel, on his neck just because Fox 6 was saying a friendly greeting to the baby owls with his snout. For a long time, no one but me knew that I knew human. When one day, as faith will have it, I am walking through the woods with Fox 7, a good pal, when all of a sudden a branch drops down on us from upon high, and I was like, oh, wow. But said not in fox, but in human. Fox 7 was so shocked he just sat with haunch on ground and tongue lolling out, along with the wide eyes of being completely astonished. To which I said, correct. What I just now spoke was human, dude. And he was like, that is pretty good, Fox 8. That is pretty good. To which I was like, inhuman, to perhaps show off slight, it is super good, no doubt, Fox 7. And he was like, we must tell our great leader this is so, to which in Fox I was like, I know, right? So we went to our great leader, Fox 28, and I spoke to him some human. When I had spoken my human, great leader turned his head sideways the way us foxes do when feeling quizzical or a noise is high, and said, Fox 8, how did you accomplish this? I was like, by studying their speech patterns every night without fail. He was like, perhaps you would be good enough to use your new skill to help the group. I was quite flattered by this show of respect from our great leader, famous among us for wise counsel, plus always leading us great. I was like, happy to help. Great leader was like, follow me, Fox 8, which I did, shooting Fox 7 a proud look of, dude, check me out. Soon, we are standing before a sign, and upon that sign are some human letters like the ones I had been learning. Thanks to my studies, I could read it. Luckily, I had learned their alphabet by squinting my eyes through that window at their books. What those words said is, coming soon, Foxview Commons. I read them to Great Leader, who back in our den said them aloud to our group. Those words caused many sudden questions in all our brains, such as, what is a Foxview Commons? Would it chase us? Would it eat us? Turns out, it could not eat us. It could not chase us. But what it could do was even worse. Because soon here comes trucks, smoking while tooting. They dug up our primary forest. They tore out our leaning tree. They wrecked our shady drinking spot and made totally flat the highest place of which we know from where we can see all of curation if it is not raining. Woe to us. As far as we could see, it was just flat, no trees. Upon trotting to our river, we found it wrecked due to so much sudden dirt floating in. Also wrecked were our fish, who, not even swooping a single flipper, just glanced up blank at us. Like, wow, we do not even get what just happened. While trying to explain it was trucks what happened, we learned one reason they could not swoop a flipper is they are dead. Plus, not only are our fish dead, but all the things we love to eat, such as bugs, such as slow, fat mice, are totally gone. We searched all day, snouts low, but not one snack. Soon several of our extremely old foxes became sick and died because no food. These dead friends were Fox 24, Fox 10, and Fox 111. Good foxes, all. One lesson I learned during my nights at that human window was a good writer will make the reader feel as bad as the human does in that their story, like the writer will make you feel as bad as Cinderella. You will feel sad you cannot go to the dance, and mad that you will have to sweep. You will feel like biting stepmother on her gown. Or if you are Pinocchio, you will feel like I would rather not be made of wood. I would rather be made of skin so my father Geppetto will stop hitting me with a hammer. And so forth. If you want to feel as bad as we foxes are feeling at this time, 1, barely eat for weeks. 2, note that many friends, including you, are getting skinnier every day. And 3, watch several of your beloved friends get so skinny that they die. At this time, Great Leader grew quite sad. It was like he grew too sad to lead and would sit for hours staring into space. It was like Great Leader blamed himself that we had lost our forest in which we had always lived since time immemorial. But we did not feel it was his fault. It happened so fast. Who could have been great enough to stop it? I for sure did not know how to stop it. Once I snuck into the back of a truck and stole their hammer with my mouth. I know it is not good to steal, but I was so mad. But me stealing that hammer did not even slow them down. They must have had other hammers. Finally, some of us went to Great Leader and are like, Great Leader, let us go forth and find some food plus a better place to live. But he just did this moan and was like, no, it's too dangerous. Everyone stay right here where I can see you. And once again, placed head between paws. Week upon week, the trucks kept working. These humans sure could work. They worked and worked until soon a whole forest is gone. How do they do it? With their hands, plus trucks. Turns out what they were making is several big white boxes with written upon them mystery words. Upon my reading of these words, my fellow foxes looked at me all quizzical. Like Fox 8, tell us, what is bon ton? What is compu fun? What is Hooters? What is cookies and cream? But I could not say. These words were never heard by me at my story window. Foxview Commons seemed to be a place humans came to put their cars. They would go into the white boxes and wait there until their cars were ready to go home. Sometimes I would go up to a car inside of which there was a dog, and due to speaking decent dog would be like, how's it going? To which the dog would either look blank at me, as if I was not even speaking dog, or fling themselves around inside the car as if they would like to break out and do damage to me, a fox. But finally, one dog does answer, going, pretty good. How about you? It's really hot in here. And I was like, friend, what is this, please? He was like, parking. I was like, what is it for? At which point he took a pause to lick his butt while I politely waited. Finally, he was like, the mall. I was like, but what is the purpose of the mall? By this time, however, he is asleep, with legs running, yet still trapped in that car, probably dreaming he is a fox, which foxly freedom, and also less pudgy. But he was right. It was parking. It was the mall. Humans would go, you can't stop fighting. We're at the mall. Quit it. Quit it. If you don't stop fighting, how would you like it if we just skip the mall? And you can get right to your algebra, Kirk. Or speaking into a small box, a human might go, I have to run, Jeannie. I'm just now parking at the mall. Or one human slaps the butt of a second and the slapped one leans in quite fond, going, Elliot, you kill me. Or a lady drops her purse and bends to retrieve her goods when suddenly her hat blows away, at which time, speaking a bad word, she looks ready to sit and cry. Only a nice man appears and races off in quest of her hat, though he has a slight limp. Humans, always interesting. One day I am crouching at the edge of parking, gazing over at the mall, when out comes a pair of humans. One was like, okay, I'll meet you at the food court when you're done with your lip wax. And the other was like, if you are late, I will totally kill you, Megan. And the other was like, don't worry, I'll find you. You'll be the one with the way red lip. Then they laughed. That phrase of food court pricked up my ears, but good. Might there be food in a food court? There might, I felt. Here I should say, all my life I have quite curative daydreams. They would just come upon me and I would enjoy them. With some favorites being, some humans hear me speak human so good they give me some chicken. And I sit right at the table and they go, how is it being a fox? And I go, fine. And they go, foxes are our favorite animal. And I go, thanks. And they go, oh, why were we so stupid to choose dogs as our main pets? And I go, I really don't know. Or some bears are chasing me. I stop holding one paw aloft, give them a speech about being nice, and they are like, maybe this is weird to ask, but could you, a fox, be our great leader? And teach us to be nice and not walk funny? And I go, sure. And they applaud with their paws, but awkward. So I teach them to clap good and they look at me with love. Or some birds fly around my head going, what a pretty fox. And we have flown everywhere in this world and never seen one prettier. And one bird goes, and smart too. And the others chirp their agreement. Now crouching near parking, I had a curative daydream about food court, which was go in, get some food. Why not? How hard could it be? If there is food, it should be food for all, right? That night at group meeting, I brought forth my plan, but sadly, my somewhat reputation as a dreamer preceded me, and not in a good way. Great leader was like, what is food court anyway? Sounds dangerous. I was like, humans are nice, they are cool. And Fox 41 was like, all snotty, oh, right. Oh, very funny. I'm sure we're gonna trust the same fox who once claimed he went to college with some baby. Fox 41 bringing up that baby was not so cool. Once long ago at that story window, I daydreamed those humans invited me in and let me hold their baby. And that baby loved me so much, soon we journeyed to college together. Wearing little college hats. It was great. At college, we learned some human tricks like working machines and how to play a violin completely screechy. But when I came home and told my foxes about going to college with that baby, they did not believe me. To prove it, I decided to show them my college hat, which was when I remembered I had daydreamed the whole thing. The only college hat I had was in my brain. Très embarrassing. So that is why in group meeting, great leader was like, no Fox 8, no mall. Good input though. I turned to my other foxes and was like, guys, please support me on this. But found the eyes of my other foxes lolling up at the ceiling. Fox 4 was like, no offense, Fox 8, your ideas are not super practical. Dream, 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 said Fox 11. Fox 41 was like, Fox 8, does this honestly never get old for you? Great leader was like, I have spoken. And something in me was like, great leader, blah. I still loved him, but it was like he was not being great or even a leader. I mean, no disrespect. It was just a strong feeling in my heart that it was no good for foxes to give up and just be dead on purpose. All that night, I could not sleep for beans. I just lay awake looking sadly around me at all my sleeping foxes, and I was like in my brain, friends, you do not look so good. The hair of your coats is mangy. You are nearly all eyes. Due to super hungry? Your sides are heaving in your sleep. Dear foxes, you have known me since, as a pup, I tried to bite my own face in our river. You knew me back when, daydreaming, I stepped in the poop of a wolf and it brought it back inside the den, causing everyone to wrinkle their snouts, going like, Fox 8, geez, how could you not smell poop of wolf when it's right on your own dang paw? But you forgave me. You forgave me, and when I got most of the poop off by rubbing against a tree, even helped me lick myself all the way good. And since I love you, should I not do my best to save you? Hence, I decided to go alone, and the next morning set off for the mall. You may have heard the human phrase, what are friends for? Well, I will tell you, friends are for when your whole group turns its back on you. Here comes your friend Fox 7, of who I spoke of earlier as being the first fox I ever spoke human to, trotting up beside me. He was like, I'll go with you, Fox 8. I was like, dude. He gave me the small shrug, like, no big deal. We trotted a while in good cheer. Soon here was the mall. Could we cross parking? We could and did. Here is how you do it. You take a deep breath, you look left, you look right, very vigorous, careful, careful, go, 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 go. Do not even pause. Foxview Commons is now bouncing because you are galloping so fast. A car almost gets you, you do a panic, yip. Stop, take a slight break under another car. Try to go, too bad, you can't, too scared, do a minor worry, yip. Go, pause, look again, go, stop, look again, go. Just really book it, you made it, and they're not dead. But now was a problem we had not mulled, which is a door. Doors being a problem for foxes due to being heavy, plus there are handles that may be high, but luck was with us. Just then, a very young human, a mere toddler, toddled past with a smile of possibly thinking we are dogs. There in her hand, we noted some food. It looked good, smelled great. It is a bun. All of a sudden, we desired to enter into a fair deal with her, whereby we would share her bun by us taking it. But then, quick as the wink, she is intaken into the mall with one hand in the hand of her mother's and the other hand our bun. Before we know it, we too, lured by her food, had been intaken into Foxview Commons right through their door. There is high music sound. The ground is like glass or ice. And oh, my friends, the things we saw. We saw the Gap. We saw eye openers. We saw a pet store with captured cats. We saw a small river that, though flowing, did not smell right. We saw some fake rocks. We saw some trees, real trees inside Foxview Commons. It made us want to dig a den. We saw a group of young humans wearing bright clothes, dancing fast, and some old humans we think are their mothers hopping around quite excited, yelling advice such as, pick it up, Crystal. Or smile, Cara, why do you look so sad while dancing, babe? We saw a round thing that had fake horses on it, on which they are enslaved and made to go circular as young humans enjoy it being placed on backs of them. I was left to wonder, why would old humans enjoy putting young humans on fake horses? It was a total mystery. And remains so. It is if an old fox enjoys putting his young fox on a fake deer. I, for one, would not enjoy that. Although I might think it funny at first. Humans would walk by and go, "Hey, look, foxes." And drop a bit of food at us. Soon we had caramel corn, several partial biscuits, plus a pear so fresh it did not even stink. I was like, this must be food court. Fox 7 was like, I guess so. We were so happy. We sat between these fake rocks, speaking dreamily of our future, such as we would get some pants, some glasses. We would ride in a car. We would place a coffee on our briefcase. We would make such good friends with the humans, they would cut us a fox door in their mall. Never had humans seemed so cool. We were surrounded by splendor no fox could curate. Hence, we were filled with respect. Could a fox do this? Build a mall? Fat chance. The best we can do is dig our dens. Then it was time to go home. For now, we had food sufficient to save the lives of our friends. Holding that food in our mouths, we trotted back through Foxview Commons, heads held high, having such a feeling of pride, being probably the first foxes or even animals inside Foxview Commons, except for those captured cats. Out we went. Here again was the sun. Here again clouds. I could not wait to see Fox 41 and go, "Hey, Fox 41, professional turd. Cares for some food." But upon reaching the edge of Park King, guess what we did not find? Fox 41, or our other foxes, or our den. It was like we had gone out a whole different door than we had gone in through. Now, one thing I learned from stories is when something big is about to occur, a writer will go, "Then it happened." This tells the reader, get ready. Here I go. Then it happened. There at the edge of Park King was a team of 2 humans doing some digging. One was like, "Holy crap, foxes." As if he had never seen a fox before, my feeling was like, yes, we are foxes. Hello, friends. We have just seen the wonder that is your mall. We congratulate you. We glampsed your fake river. We observed your cute young ones dancing. We gladly accepted your generous gift of food. You are so nice. What a great day for the fox-human connection. Then that first human, quite huge, took off a blue hat he was wearing, and I was like, in my brain, it must be a form of salute. So I did a fox salute back, which is reach out with front legs, bow, yawn. Only then, running towards us in a startling manner, he threw that hat at us. From the sound it made, upon not hitting us, but only parking, I saw it must be made of rock. I gave Fox 7 a glance like, what did we do wrong? Then the other human, quite small, ran at us, threw his hat. And oh, my friends, what happened next is hard to write because that hat wonked Fox 7 square in his face, and suddenly his knees go weak and he gives me one last long, fond look and drops over on his side with blood trickling out his snout. I briefly tried to revive him by sniffing. But here comes the huge and the small human running off as in victory, making a noise that made my hair stand on my neck. What could I do but flee? Glancing back while trotting, I saw the huge and small human doing such things to Fox 7 as further hits with their hats and kicks and stomps, while making additional noises I had never heard a human make, as if this is fun, as if this is funny, as if they are proud of what they are accomplishing, reaching a dirt clod big as me. I lay behind it, panting while shaking. Which is when I saw the last straw of their cruelty, which was the small human picked up Fox 7, now dead, and flung him through the air. Poor Fox 7, my friend, was spinning while sailing, like something long with a weight at one end. And what did the humans do? Stood bent over, laughing so hard, then retrieved their cruel hats and went back to work, slapping hands as if what they had done was good and cool and had made them glad. Rest of the day I hid among those dirt clods, quietly whimpering. When darkness fell, I snuck over and viewed what remained of Fox 7. I had heard many stories at that window, but I never heard a story in which anything like what happened to poor Fox 7 happened. I did not know a fox could look that way. Even our foxes who get hit by cars did not look as bad as Fox 7. And it was humans that did it. I trotted all day. Tray-stunned, I would stop to sleep but dream of Fox 7 and his sad last glance. Quaking there under the moon, I would remember the nice way Fox 7 had of doing a nose nudge if a friend of his might be feeling low. Then I would rise and run, trying to forget, and by morning was quite lost. For days I roamed, learning many things, such as a road can pass over a river. There is more than one mall. A tree can float in a lake. Sometimes humans run in groups, wearing yellow. Once on a sign is a picture of a duck chopping down a tree by using as his axe another duck who looks tray mad. Soon my pads are bloody, there's no food. Sometimes I could find a grasshopper. Once I found a dead bird, which had been dead so long, he had bad hygiene, so I could not eat him. I tried, but no way. Perhaps, reader, you have heard that phrase called, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." It's from a book. Once that mother tried reading that book to her cubs, but it proved boring, with too many words. Thereby her cubs began doing what young humans do when bored, which is rolling around with fingers up nose, pinching baby brother. All I could think was, Fox 7 is dead and it is all my fault. Why had I ever had that dumb idea of entering the mall? Why was I born so weird? Why could I not be a simple fox, having no daydreams, speaking just fox, obeying my great leader? It was the worst of times. It was the worst of times. Tell the truth, my heart went suddenly bad. Trotting through a forest, I used to hear things as birds swooping down, praising all nature, and mice saying, "It's a super day," and cows in a nearby field going, "Oh, wow, isn't the world great?" And so forth. We are really loving this super grass. That is how animals are, quite cheerful. But now I was not like that. I knew I would not be like that again. Now their songs of love seemed like the dopey chatter Fox 7 and I had been saying to each other as we lay all happy between those fake rocks in the mall, sharing our hopeful plans of getting pants and glasses and so forth, and inviting humans to our den, serving them some fruit if we have some, all that time watching those humans with such love, not knowing what was coming next, like two little babies fast asleep in the middle of a horrible world who do not yet know how horrible it really is. Sometimes trotting on my bloody pads through a human zone such as Riverwalk's estate, along such roads as Hummingbird Way and Slow Stream Avenue, or even Melody Manor Passage, seeing so many great dens with lights like indoor suns and water shooting magically out of their grass at will, seeing that long line of cars trot away so proud every morning full of humans and the other splendors humans could do, such as make grass short, such as cause flowers to grow inside their dens. I was like, why did the curator do it so wrong, making the group with the greatest skills the meanest? Then one day, I came upon a forest, the like of which I had never seen before, so deep and green and dark and great smelling. It made those holes in my nose go super wide with sheer delight. Oh, the light through the trees, the moving shadows when the wind would blow, the million great smells such as water not far away. The wind in the high part of the trees, and sometimes a branch will crack. All of a sudden, I smell fox, big time. Then I saw foxes, big time. A whole other group just like us, only not. Compared to us, they were 1 less skinny, and 2 had no fear in their eyes, and 3 coats of the prettiest red ever, a deep foxly red that made me ashamed of my own dull coat. I told them my name, and they let me smell them. I was hoping they would like me, which they did. They did smell me. They did like me. They took turns smelling and liking me. I told them all that had befallen me. They believed it about them all. They did not believe it about Fox 7, I could tell. They looked at me funny, then they looked at each other funny. Tell the truth, I would have not believed me either if I'd showed up and told me that. Those foxes were super nice. One came over all shy and out of her mouth dropped a fruit at my paw. One dropped a gift of a part of a bird. They showed me to a pond where I drank so much. They were slightly laughing. And I was like, there's no food or good water where I live. One of them was like, we kind of figured. Then happened, thanks to my daydreaming, I saw myself in my brain leading my own foxes to this paradise, one by one, through Foxview Common. I would show them the gap. I would show them the fake rock. If one was scared, I would say, don't be scared, and made a joke. If one was slow, I would push him from behind with an encouraging snout. If one was looking around all freaked out, I would calmly go, focus, focus. And if one was old, such as great leader, I would carry him or her on my back. Soon, in my mind, we are all safely there.